yanayojiri na hapa Global TV kutoka Dallas Fort Worth hapa mjini Arlington, Texas, ndani ya AGR FM.
Hello and welcome to the Diaspora Heart Beat, a program that we hope will create an impact here in the United States and all over the world, including our motherland. Tonight, we are here to talk about it, the big things that are happening back at home and here in the diaspora. Guys, do you ever think running a parliamentary seat or running for a senatorial seat or gubernatorial seat is that simple? Tonight, we need your answers. It is a big one, and I hope you're already seated back, watching and taking a drink. And relax, please. Don't mind about anything, but watch for the big things that are likely to happen. With me on the studio is the man. He has ran for a campaign. He lives in DFW twice, but he's never been there. But tonight, we are here to know, why has he not made it? Does he have a chance, or does he look like he's tired? That is none other than Mr. Jimmy Onkangi. Welcome to the studio, my friend.
Hi.
Karibu sana mkubwa.
Asante sana.
Habari ya masiku bwana?
Nzuri kabisa.
So Mr. Onkangi, tell us, why are you still there? Are you not getting tired?
Well,
Twice. You've gone twice. The first time you tried, you didn't make it. The next time you tried, you went all the way to the ballot. But you never made it. Why?
well, first of all, let me thank you, Felix, for a wonderful show. We very much appreciate what you're doing in terms of getting the words out there. I do want to give my condolences to the victims in Garissa and for the ironic act that is facing this country. Your question is very good, and I just want to be straight to the point. Yes, of course, I've run twice. First was in 2007. In 2007 campaigns, I never made it to the ballot simply because there was some kind of problems with the ODM nominations, and I felt like I was shortchanged in the middle.
Do you think, Mr. Onkangi, do you think those guys, they just gave somebody a ticket and you didn't have a chance?
Well, I really don't want to think that way. What I think happened is basically what happens every day, business as usual in terms of nominations, and that's actually what made me a better candidate in terms of 2013.
What is this business as usual that you're talking about?
Well, just the other day, I just read news today. I don't know if you followed that. There's a ward in Ololulu ward whereby a job candidate lost. He was number 2. I think his name is Bernard somebody. Immediately ODM went ahead and gave him direct nomination.
So that's the same case that happened in Kitutu CHACHE South, where you come from, by that time?
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
That was in 2007.
That is.
So you get closer, you go to Mlolongo, as they call it back at home, very close there, somebody else gets the certificate, and you're left out.
And that's exactly what happened. We felt such change in the laws were that you cannot do party hopping, and that's not something which I really admired then. So I decided to say, you know what, I'm young, there's a second chance, and you know, I will learn from what I did, the mistakes that we did and what happened. I will get smarter.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I did. 2013, it was a good year for us. We were very much prepared. We chose a party which we went to nomination in Kanu. That is.
So
the party
hold on,
that
before you come to 2013, you've lost in 2007.
I never lost in 2007.
Okay, you've given up your certificate. I mean, somebody already got the certificate, right?
Yes.
Then what do? You just take a flight and come to the US, or what do? Do you stay back at home? Do you support this candidate, or do you do anything to tell the guys, thank you, even if I did not get it, somebody else, this is what happened? What did you really do?
Well, first of all,
yes,
the rules is that you have to support the candidate that wins the nomination. In that case, it was Honorable the Excellency the Governor, Mr. Ongwai.
Okay.
And we fully supported him. Even though
by your information, but then it was Kitutu CHACHE.
It was Kitutu CHACHE.
There was no split that we have right now, Kitutu CHACHE South and the Kitutu CHACHE North.
That is correct.
Thank you.
That is correct. So we rallied behind. Some went to other parties, but I chose not to do that. What really matters, to be honest with you, is what happens in between the elections. That nomination was over between the 2007 and 2013. There are a number of issues that we were doing as the Ongi Foundation in terms of helping our people realize their dreams.
So by then, you go back, you lost the election. I mean, somebody else gave the certificate. You go back and create the Ongi Foundation. You dwell on the Ongi Foundation. You still get in touch with the people back at home, but you still take a flight and come to the US.
Those are one of the challenges that I'm going to be talking about tonight, about the challenges that we are facing as diaspora candidates. You know, there's a life after elections, and once you have lost your elections or be it nominations, life has to move on. And like I said, what matters is between those election time. That's exactly what matters. What happens in between those elections is what actually really makes sense to people.
Yes.
Because people really do not want a lot of things from politicians. All they want is a framework and a way for them to reach their potentials, and that is what we did. I took a flight, I came back, and I continued with my business. And then 2013 came in. We went back to the field, and we, as I said, we.
In between that time, you live in Kenya, you come to the US. Did you make any subsequent flights going back and forth home, trying to see maybe, you know, trying to get what the ground looks like?
If I had come with my campaign budget, you probably see a lot of the largest expenditure on my campaign is flights. As a matter of fact, some of the flights were free because I was a frequent flyer.
But Mheshimiwa, this time round, there is no campaign that is going on. The election has already been given. Somebody else has been declared a winner. You've come to the United States. Now, we're talking about that duration between 2007 and 2013 when you go back again and try to run again. This time round, are you flying home? Are you just staying in the DFW? Trying to do your business around, or you do something home? How much in contact are you with these guys back at home?
You know, that's a good question, because basically when I was running this campaign, and that's what the things that we were facing is that we were not in touch with the folks at home. And I used to argue about this because the point is that even these politicians who are running a home, they are all in Nairobi. They are not in Kisii. And some of the times I used to go home more often than they do. And so, to answer your question is, after the campaign, you take over, just like they do.
After somebody is already being declared a member of parliament.
Being declared, some of them go to Nairobi, some of them go to Uganda, and I happen to come from the US.
And you have to take a flight and come back.
I have to take a flight and come back here. But I do make frequent visit to my people. Like I said, the Ongi Foundation was started way back in 2006. And what it does is sponsors kids that are not able to, you know, get the scholarship from the CDF. We chip in. We have 16 students beneficiary as we speak. It's something that is ongoing. It's something that has been existing, like I said, from 2006, and is still going on right now. We have a number of projects that I can talk about that when you give me time.
You hold on that, Mr. Onkangi. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man who tried. He went close, as he says today, very close in 2007. And the nomination was snatched away from him. It's like snatching meat from your hands. And it happened. Came back to America, trying to do his business back as usual, but still, he got the determination. He got the muscles to say, I am still on the ballot and I will keep on being there. Mr. Onkangi.
Yes.
Sorry kwa kufanyiwa hayo mheshimiwa.
It's normal.
It's a nomination exercise.
That's politics.
Now, did you ever try to talk to anybody and tell them, you know what, you guys have shortchanged me in the ODM election nominations?
Well, the secretariat was there. We met. I remember there was about 5 candidates. The sitting MP right now being the one of those that was shortchanged.
That is
Honorable Mumaima Richard.
Oh, okay, Richard Mumaima. Yeah.
Yes, and some felt like they crossed over the road. He went to PDP, I believe. There was also the other candidates who went to Wiper, Osoro. And so we did talked about it, and there was no time. As you know, the nominations window with IBC closing window is always very close. So we did not have much time to debate about whatever would shortchange. We knew that this is going to happen, but we had no way of getting away from that.
Now, Mr. Onkangi, just before the first run, just before you went to run in 2007, I'm just dwelling into that too much because this is the time you created an impact. And as you say, that you got very close to the ballot. very close to snatching that nomination, and then somebody just came akanyakua from you. Now, my question is, how much ground did you prepare? How much help did you get from your friends around and your family? I mean, how much did you spend a lot? Did you have a lot of machineries? What was the trick of becoming number one? Actually, you said you won the game, but somebody else snatched from you. What was the trick on this?
Well,
how good was your campaign? What did you do?
Well, again, like I said, everyone who goes campaigning, they're always winners. You go in knowing that you are going to win an election, and that's the first thing that you do when you decide to do this. But I must say this, that my family was very supportive, and they are still supportive of my initiative. Friends here in the diaspora and actually back at home, they were also very supportive in terms of prayers, financial help, and that's what kept me going. Campaigns are not cheap. That's a dirty game, and I'm not going to say that I was fully prepared. No, I'm not going to say that, but I was ready and ready to face the challenge that I was getting. And like I said, that was my first time trying to run an election.
But you still got there. You know, the good thing is you say that you got it, and somebody snatched it from you. So it was Onkangi for Kitutu CHACHE. Somebody comes and snatches from you.
Yes, and the point here that I'm trying to say here, there was never a nomination. That's the point I'm trying to make it clear here. There was never a nomination. We were never given a chance to be nominated.
So how do you know that you are the one who was winning this thing?
Of course, like I said, when you go into this, you go in knowing that you're winning.
So there was no election, but according to what you see and according to your own analysis, is that you already got it. You had already won this thing, right?
Of course.
The game was over with you. You already won it.
Of course. When the polls were done, I was an underdog. I started, down counting as being, the third, favorable candidate. But
you were third favorable candidate.
When we started in 2006, as the project and everything that I was doing resonated well with the people, and more especially the youth. I had a very good tournament. It was among the high-paid tournament, which attracted a lot of youth. We had 14 teams that were running a whole Kitutu CHACHE, and they were not in the same location. They were all spread out. And so that made our name. And of course, the other foundation I was telling you about, Onkangi
Foundation. The Onkangi Foundation. So the Onkangi Foundation had started just before the election in 2007. It did not come in later on after the election.
No. They started early in early 2006.
Now, without going too much, let me talk about this. Just tell us a little bit about what you did for the Onkangi Foundation. What was it all about? Was it all about youths and what?
Onkangi Foundation is a whole. It was created in the whole issue of the campaign trail. Right before we started the campaign.
Yeah.
And what we looked at what we wanted to do for our people. And part of the problem that we were facing is that we are having so many requests for funeral arrangements. People wanted some assistance in terms of, when their family they have been bereaved, they want some help in terms of transportation of the bodies, or other expenses they want.
So
we had a portion for that.
Did you have like an ambulance?
We do not have an ambulance. What we did, we gave them a donation. We gave them a donation in terms of whatever we could afford. Not everyone, but we the best way we could. That was part of the foundation. And another part of the branch of the foundation is what I just talked about. We had an education fund. The education fund was you apply, you pay 1,500 shillings, 1,500 shillings, and then you get a fund of $5,000 shillings. Sorry, 5,000 shillings. So if your kid is actually out of school just because you needed some assistance and you cannot get that from the CTF, then we come in. That's why we are chipping in. That's part of the Onkangi Foundation. Also, we offered paying for exam fees. Some students were missing out registration because they could not afford just simply to pay the examination fees.
So the Onkangi Foundation comes in, help these kids, help them to go to school. You pay for them. You say 5,000 shillings.
Well, that's for the school fees.
That's for the school fees.
Yes.
You give them 5,000 shillings.
Yes.
To go to school.
After paying a registration fee of 1,500, and that is something that is actually going on as we speak. It's not something that has been left out. It is going on. The registration fee is the commitment that we get from these students. They really committed that they want this money. So you pay that, you get the 5,000 shillings. and that goes a long way. We have had some feedback, and it's something that the people want us to continue, and we are going to continue to do that. Now, there is a whole host of issues that has since then added to that. If you allow me to say, there is also, we are organizing medical camps that's going to be coming up pretty soon. That is also going to be coming as
before you go to the medical camps that you are organizing for the future. We are still dwelling on 2007 coming to 2013. We are looking at Onkangi on the ground. Onkangi's nomination snatched from him. Onkangi having the whole project that he's been doing. What other challenges did you see in between them?
Well, there is a lot of challenges, and the challenges that I think I faced.
Did you have enough money?
We never have enough money for campaign.
Yes.
We left here with a budget that we thought is a good budget, but again, back then, like I said, I never went all the way through. But again, that was my first time trying to introduce who is Onkangi to the people of Kitutu CHACHE, and that comes with a price. I had to go above and beyond other candidates because I have to be known.
How was your spending? Were you giving guys to go and vote for you, or you were for the machineries and those guys working for the Onkangi campaign? I mean, just tell us what your budget was really much based on.
Well, the budget is quite difficult to analyze them, but I can tell you that most expenditures goes to the people that are your employees, the people who are actually getting the word out for you. There's a lot of gas money in terms of the cars that you rent and the cars that you own, and a lot of repairs. As you can tell, there is a lot of wear and tear during the campaign. That's one of the expenditures, and mostly the expenditures that we incur is during this campaign time. They tend to be so many fundraisers, and if one does not attend one, or if you attend one and sneak the other one, then you tend to be labeled as choosing
somebody,
one, and that goes against you. So those are the challenges I was facing. So that despite the willingness of helping, but we get overwhelmed.
But there is one thing that always goes on, especially if you are coming from the diaspora and you're going to contest back at home. There's that notion on the ground. Everybody says he's come from the diaspora, he got money, so what we need to do, eat the money and vote for somebody. Did you ever encounter something of the kind of people saying that Onkangi has come with the money, all we need is to, eat the money and vote for somebody else?
That's a notion, and that's something that is being said.
But it's something that you never had when you did the campaign?
Well, I had that. I had that. Don't get me wrong. One of the things that we do after the campaigns at night, we sit down and look at what we've done during the day and what the feedbacks that the guys got from the ground and what I got, and we share. And one of those moments, I remember one of my campaign guys, the field guys, he came and he said, "Mheshimiwa, I don't know, this area, man, we have put so much money, and but what I hear the people are saying is that you are giving too much money. First of all,
you are giving too much money.
You're giving too much money
to the people around, so that they can
area.
Vote for you."
Well, no, giving in terms of spending. I'm sorry. I was spending so much money in this particular.
Or like the commercials and everything that was going on, the machineries.
It's about, there are so many.
You're talking about people saying you're giving too much money, but the thing is, we want to know where is this money, what are they saying the money is going?
It's not people.
If people are receiving money, Mr. Mheshimiwa,
yes,
that's bribery, right?
And that's not what I'm talking about.
So there's nothing like bribery. You're not giving out handouts on the campaign trail.
No,
you're not doing that, right?
I don't do that.
You're not bribing guys to vote for you, right?
No, Felix. What I was saying is
yes,
that, and not to cut you short, is that it is not the people who are saying that. I heard it from one of my field guys who was saying that we are spending so much money in this area, but what I'm hearing is that the people are saying that you're not known here. Your chances here are low. You need to restructure and spend your money elsewhere. Those are one of the strategies that we go through, and that's why I was telling you the challenges is people know us as having a lot of money, and of course, like I was telling you, I was trying to spend more money so that I can be known. That was one of my strategies in terms of getting my word out there with people to know who is Onkangi, and that's why I was spending so much money then. But again, it's very hard for you to say that you cannot spend much money because you don't want you know you're going to lose. Like I say, when you go in this thing, you know you're winning. So as these guys were telling me that I'm spending so much money, back in my mind, I'm like, this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted people to know exactly who I am.
Hold that thought right there, Mheshimiwa. This is the man who says, they said, he did not say, they said he was spending too much money for him to be known on the ground. He said he did his homework, put the Ongi Foundation down, but as we come back after break, he's going to tell us how much did he spend and why did this money never bear fruits. Thank you for watching Heartbeat.
Yanayojiri na Abagushi Global TV kutoka Dallas Fort Worth hapa mjini Arlington, Texas, ndani ya AGR FM.
Oh yes, thank you and welcome back. I'm here with the man who tried twice, not once, came next to it, but he never got it, as Mr. Jimmy Onkangi. Mr. Mheshimiwa.
Yes.
We have gone, 2007 is done, 2013 comes in. You're still strong and you're still going back to the ground. Now, the mistakes that were made in 2007, did you realize them and change anything in 2013?
A lot, Felix. Like I said, it is a learning process. There is a lot of whole issues that we dealt with when we were in 2007. And I will start by the nomination, like I told you. In 2013, we were very much prepared with the nomination. We did not want to end up not having our name on the ballot. And so the challenges we were having is basically trying to have a fair and free nomination among the mainstream parties. And that's a challenge, and it still remains a challenge up to date. Our people wanted us to genuinely be on the coalition, which was the court. But again, there was a lot of issues in terms of nomination, as you know, countrywide, not only in Kitutu CHACHE South, but countrywide. And so we chose to go to a KANU, not because we feared nomination, but what we knew is that we could get a fair nomination on one of those small parties. And that's what exactly we did. Those are one of the challenges that we faced. Now, again, going to 2013, we also prepared in terms of financial. We knew what the budget was, we knew what was the shortcoming in the other elections and what we acquired, and we were very much ready for that. Now, another challenge that I'm going to be talking as we go ahead is the challenges of being alien in your own country. People are seeing you as you are already in the diaspora.
Oh, so that question comes in now. They are like, you from the diaspora, you don't belong here, so you're trying to look like you're an outsider in your own place, right?
That's exactly what was happening. And that's the challenge that we, even as we speak, it's something that we, as candidates.
So how did you get along with that? Because now, that's the time that somebody should know what to do and hit on the ground about that. What do you do when you realize that they're talking, this is my weakness point, I'm coming here, my weakest point is because I'm from the diaspora. I have the points, I have the way of making things run around, I can run this thing, but the problem is, I have that brand name, diaspora. Now, how do you go with this?
The name diaspora was an asset a few years ago. Remember this parliament, almost everybody was a diaspora, if you want to name them, all these people.
Yeah.
But back then, they had an easy ride in terms of getting into parliament, because the diaspora was a price on them. But now the challenge, like I was saying, the people that are saying that, you know what, you guys have been diaspora, you have accumulated so much wealth, you have opportunities, why do you want to come here and compete with the locals who have not the opportunities, is the only opportunity they have? But what they fail to understand is that some of us, we are here, but we have a passion about our home. We want to give back to our communities. We want to give back to our brothers. When one of the favorite things that Obama said when he was running his campaign is that whenever you reach up there, make sure you give your hand to your brother who is down there and lift him up. And that's exactly what we are doing today.
But Mheshimiwa, what I really get from most guys from the ground, they say that when you guys were Shmiras from the diaspora go back at home, what you do, you are just above there with helicopters and big cars, so you never get time to go to the ground. Did you ever go to remote places by use of your gumboots, walk around, talk to those guys, tell them, you know what, my name is Jimmy Onkangi and I'm running for this seat, guys, sit with them, try to know what their major problem just at the root is?
Felix, thank you for that question.
Yes.
And that's the centerpiece of my campaign. when I started these campaigns, the first thing that I made sure is, and this is something which has never been done by anybody, as far as I know, especially from the candidates that I was running against, is I provided my phone number. The calendars that I had, they have my phone number there. People were calling me and talking to me directly. One of the things I was doing is also going door to door. And this is very weird because at night,
Door to door, which mean?
at 1 o'clock in the morning. And that's what it entails. So that is something that we did, and it worked out well for us. It's something that we learned from our previous campaign. We improved towards 2013. It seems to have worked very well. But again, it's something that we intend to continue to do.
What do you think are the failures of the incumbent?
Well, it's easy to point to mistakes when you're outside. Okay, I don't want to really entail so much into what Honorable Momaima has done. I'm pretty sure from what I look at, he has done the best he can. What we're asking is that this is his second term. Okay, this is his second term. And the word is that, you know, Felix, when you went to school, you went to class 1. You graduated to class 2.
Yes.
You went into class 3.
So
So if the student on class 3 does not go to class 4, you will not get a space for you to sit down. Okay, in class 3. So we need him to step up his game so that we can actually also have other people trying to go to class 2.
So you can see anything, or you're saying that you just want him to keep on climbing so he can also give you a chance of being there?
It's not giving me a chance.
Yes.
What we're asking is that whatever he had promised our people, he has in 10 years to do that.
Mheshimiwa, hold on, as you say that, I'm trying to pick a question from one of our listeners and one of our viewers. His name is Abiud. Says, Onkangi given 2 million shillings. How can you manage them in Kitutu CHACHE South?
Well,
which could be, is very specific. Be very specific and tell us how you can be able to distribute this within your locality, starting with the first thing first and the last thing last.
Well, first of all, you know, when you have money, the first thing you need to do is you cannot do this yourself. You need to create a committee, which is maybe a planning committee that helps you in terms of distribution of that money. But to answer his question, because he's specifically targeting what I can do as a member of parliament, if I was one, is first of all, you need to invest in a place whereby you don't want to give handouts. What you need to do is you invest in projects that can bring, you know.
So in the real sense, what he's trying to say, what are the biggest challenges that the people of Kitutu CHACHE South are experiencing when you step up to become one of their members of parliament? That when they write in history, they'll say, you know what, we were here, Onkangi came, and Onkangi removed us from this position, and we are in that position. That's exactly what you're trying to get.
Yeah. Well, I will invest that money in education. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to invest that money in education, because that's exactly what I champion in terms of getting our kids, you know, to school, because that's one of the challenges they need. Some of them, they want to go to school, they don't have the funds to go to school. So I will immediately create an education fund. Basically, that these kids will be borrowing that money from there. Not only just borrowing, getting the money going, but they pay with interest. That fund to be continuous. That's like a capital to start a business. So I will immediately start doing that, give him an education fund. Also, don't forget there are also farmers, our moms. They need help. So you need to invest in terms of fertilizers, in terms of them to, you know, buying you know, seeds and, you know, whatever they need for their farming. So that's something else you need to do, because you need to, you know, create an environment whereby they will be able to get all these things done easily than they were doing before. So in terms of distributing, those are my priorities: education, farming, and then going down. Maybe if you go to youth, they need some kind of microfinancing, because they are. Some of them, I don't know what you call them, but quarry. They need some tools to be able to do what they do in terms of generating their own income. So you have to look at, when you get such kind of money, or when you're a leader, you have to look on the youth and the women in terms of empowering them, and also the education sector. That is the corner pillar stone that can actually enable a constituency or a community to move into the next level.
Wow. It's smoking in here. Guys, I don't know what to say. I'll bring it back after the break, and then we're gonna talk more about this man. In 2013, he went for Kanu. Why Kanu? Give me after the break.
Yanayojiri na Ababushi Global TV kutoka Dallas Fort Worth hapa mjini Arlington, Texas. Ndani ya AGR FM.
Thank you and welcome back. I'm seated here with the man. They call him the Naomi of Kitutu CHACHE South. He's tried twice, as I told you earlier on. He's not get there. But this time round he says, you know what? I can never give up. If I give up, my people are in problems. And he believes 2017, it's his time. He's ready, set, put everything on fire, everything just facing Kitutu CHACHE South. His machinery is on the ground. The guys over there, they're talking about him. They're singing about him. They're saying, we need you. But how ready is he? Mheshimiwa, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, 2017 is here.
It's our year.
You've gone home.
Yes.
And who knows? You're elected member of parliament. You're going to that gas house. We've had guys coming from the diaspora, they go home, they win elections. They go and take over from those guys. They do whatever they do. They don't change. They don't seem to create any difference. And then you keep wondering, why did we elect this? Why did we allow these guys to even go just take the system the way it is? They get swallowed to the system without moving. And then they say, you know what? I'm here kukula kama wengine. They keep on increasing the size of the stomach, as they say. Forgetting they've come from Maju, as they call them back at home. Utafanya nini?
Well, that has been a concern for especially our diaspora friends and Kenyans. It's a big challenge, like I told you earlier on. It's different when you are outside the game. Of course, the diasporans who have been lucky enough to be elected to Parliament.
Yes, and talk to them.
They have done a good job
yes.
In terms of representing their constituencies, a number of them. But the disappointment we are having, and the reason why my campaign is probably different from the previous one. The times have changed.
I want you to look at them on the face.
Yes, I am looking at them. And
at them on the face.
Yes.
Tell them.
We need to change in terms of what we do for our diaspora. In other words, when you are elected at home, let's say, for example, I'm elected in Kitutu CHACHE South, I do need to make sure that I take care of my people in Kitutu CHACHE South, not forgetting that also in Maju, as you call it, we have also Kitutu CHACHE residents who are in the diaspora, be it Germany, UK, or here in the United States. So what I'm advocating is that if I am lucky to be given this seat, I will come back to the diaspora and try to make sure that I strengthen the other candidates who are upcoming. Like I've told you, times have changed. The parliament before is one of the corrupt parliament that we have ever seen in recent years.
So there'll be no chicken for you?
No, of course there's no chicken for me, because
you sure?
Oh no, there's no chicken for me.
Mheshimiwa, look at the camera and tell them there will be no chicken.
There will be no chicken.
I won't
Felix.
eat chicken.
Felix, let me assure you this. If there is any chicken for me, that will not be Onkangi. I will step aside and pay for any investigation that need to be done. And that's what we are asking even the current leaders that have been caught in corruption. Not only the diaspora, the corruption is for everyone. So if you are caught in corruption, the best thing to do is to step aside. If you are courageous enough, pay for investigations, because you hold a very high office.
But Mheshimiwa, you know, Kenyan politics sometimes can go either way. They can do witch hunting. They can just say because Onkangi is from a particular party, he needs to step down so that he can do investigation. He's corrupt. When that one happens, do you just step down because they say you step down, Mheshimiwa?
If a man is, if your cautious is good, and you know you did not do that, even witch hunting cannot get you. That's what I'm trying to say here. I understand completely there is witch hunting in Kenya. That's not what I'm trying to dispute here. What I'm saying is that if your name has been called, the best thing and honorable thing to do is to step aside, pave way for investigation. If you are found not guilty, then you definitely come back and claim your seat. That is something which is enshrined in our constitution. It's something nobody's gonna haunt you. If you are cautious is clean. The best thing, Felix, is to step aside and pave way for investigations.
Wow.
That's the honorable thing to do.
Just step aside.
Step aside, let due process.
And you're telling the people of Kitutu, CHACHE South, if Mr. Onkangi is elected member of parliament and is in the chicken scandal, amekula kuku, tafadhali atarudi nyumbani and tell you guys, mimi siko ndani na mimi nimetoka, wacha wafanye nini uchunguzi.
That's exactly what I do.
Mr. Onkangi,
yes,
you're going home very soon.
Yes, I am.
And you're very ready to go. This is maybe in 1 month's time. There is something that we've been talking about. Everybody been asking many questions about the women empowerment. Why Onkangi for the women? I mean, why not your wife for the women?
Well, Felix, thank you for that question. We are planning to have a home trip with a bunch of my diaspora friends who have been very supportive of my campaign, and they continue to support me. One of the things that we agreed is we channel, instead of using money, we channel in projects that are tangible, projects that you can see that can help the real people. And one of the questions they asked me is that which areas do you want us to help you? And of course, right back there, I knew that we needed help in youth. I knew we needed help in women. And so I initiated what we are trying to do right now is what we call a circle. We are building up money, having a big fundraiser, which is going to be at St. Patrick's Mosocho. The date is on June 12th. We're having some honorable members of parliament, which have already accepted the invitation. Former South Mogrango MP, Omingo Mangara, a friend of mine, has accepted the invitation here. And my friend, the Iron Lady, Mother Kalua, she is going to be the guest at that occasion. She has also accepted. She champions the rights of women. We have also even the first women MP, as you know, Catherine Nyangate. She has also accepted the invitation. So we have a bunch of people who are very, very optimistic.
But Mr. Onkangi, why the women? Why are women? And you know,
like I said, when my friends ask me, where do we need to help you? I had to look for the most vulnerable people. And when you help women, you help a community. You have to make sure. Here's an example. If a woman goes buys a car, and I'm giving this as an example that I found on the campaign trail. A woman saved money, bought a car, brought home. Within 3, 4, 5 weeks, the car was missing. She was never consulted, but the husband sold the cow. So what I'm trying to say is that when you help women, they tend to help the family. When you help our elderly, our fathers, they tend not to help the family. That's exactly what I'm saying.
This whole scenario of the women empowerment thing based on you trying to acquire mileage because you're running for a parliamentary seat? Or is it something that is just coming deep inside you? And then some other questions that will come up. Why is it Onkangi, and why is the wife not the one in front and Onkangi following from behind?
Of course, my wife is in front. Of course, my wife is part of the project. We are actually going home, the whole family. So she's part of that project. And like I told you from very early beginning, is that she's very supportive of what we are trying to do for our people.
Nice.
And so she's championing that. We are going with her. She's going to give some lessons to the women that have already been selected to the project. And she's also going to be the part of the learning process. So it's not just women. But this is not something which I'm doing for campaigns. This is a stereotype.
Did something touch you? Did you find a story somewhere that made you feel like, you know what, women in this place, they need to be empowered, they need to
when I was doing my campaign,
yes,
I had a bunch of women in my committees. And what I realized is that women, when they say their word, they mean their word. When they say they're going to be here at this time, they're going to be there at that time. They were serious about the campaign, and they had genuine concerns that I needed to be helped. These women you're seeing that I'm helping right now, I just did not know them just yesterday. These are women which have come a long way. Some of them have added, and I've seen now what the best thing I can do is to give them something which will enable them reach their potential quicker than they have. They have been borrowing 500, they have merry-go-rounds, as you know. They have been giving each other 500 shillings. Why not? Having a pool of money, maybe they can borrow 2,000. Maybe they can borrow, and in that process, they're also giving interest to their own money. That is something which will make them actually take an extra step and not depend on, handouts. That's exactly what I'm trying to wipe out. Not having people asking for handout. And the only way you can help that is by having women fed up, women having businesses to do, so that they cannot be relying on their husbands only. They can, when a woman has their own money, they feel motivated. They feel that they are part of the family. It's not that they are expecting money from their husbands only. They need to be able to get their money, and the only way we can help them is by getting this circle on, having my friends. They're also invited, by the way. Having my friends.
I'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you. So having their money there, so that they can actually pull that money from their own money, pay interest on it, and the account to keep on accumulating. Long before we know this, Felix, we reached by 2017, as you think, this is not election. That's why I started earlier. I did not want to wait until election time to start this. Like I said from the very beginning of this interview, what happens to me, what happens in between the elections is what actually makes a difference in people. People don't care about what happens at the election time. That's the handout time. People remember Onkangi of what he did in 2010. That is exactly what I'm doing. This is not anything to do with the campaigns. Those ones who bland us that we are trying to do this in campaign, that's their own word. They can speak that, but we are looking forward.
Hold that thought, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
What does Onkangi do in a daily living? When do you start your day? When you finish your day? How do you deal with your family? And going to politics, it's not an easy thing. Your wife is there, the kids are over there. How are you gonna deal with this? You have to be in meetings all the time. You have to receive those phone calls from your constituents back at home in the middle of the night, and you're in the diaspora. Them, they are already awake, but they will be calling you at the middle of the night and telling you, what, you have this and this and this a problem. How do you deal with that, Mr. Onkangi?
Well, that before I just came for this interview, I just got a call from home, and one of my friends from Raganga, they had a funeral, that they wanted some help. That is a daily to do. Jimmy Onkangi has a life just like anybody else. We have a family that we have to run. We have kids that are young kids. My daughter is 2 years old. She always needs me. So you have to be able to balance. That is one of the things that will gauge you as a leader. You have to be able to balance your personal life and be able to balance with the public life. And that's a challenge to most of us. But as a leader, it's one of the things that you have to do. To be able to know that this time is for family and this time is for public. But you also have to find that balance to be able to give yourself also some time to run and not you physically, to be able to jog your mind. It's a daunting task, but again, we are equal to the task. And that's why not everyone can be a leader. That's why we have to come in.
Hold on that thought. When we come back, it's going to tell us how much he's able to the task. And he's going to tell us his parting shot, why he thinks Kitutu CHACHE needs him most, and why he thinks he can do it better than the incumbent. This is Felix Nyangate. You're watching the Diaspora Heart Beat.
Yanayojiri na hapa Bushi Global TV kutoka Dallas Fort Worth hapa mjini Arlington, Texas, ndani ya AGR FM.
Yes, we are back. Diaspora Heart Beat, just inside the room. Very hot. It's fire. I can see 911 automated. I can see MedStar just out there saying, if somebody calls, we are ready for you guys. We are live from Arlington, Texas. This is Diaspora Heartbeat. You want to tweet us? Don't forget my tweet, F Nyangate. And this tweet is
J Onkangi.
Hashtag Diaspora Quest. Mr. Mheshimiwa.
Yes, Felix.
The biggest problem that people do face in our country, and especially Kitutu CHACHE South, I can tell you point blank to your face, poverty. What are your plans for those guys finish colleges, universities? Out there still working, they don't have no jobs. And the country says there are no jobs. They go there, they're looking for money to maybe pay kidogo for them to get a job. You've been in this country where you've seen Obama creating jobs, as a matter of fact. You've seen other presidents creating jobs. You have a little bit of experience from this country. And for information, I know you've been in this country for more than 10 years. So you have a little bit knowledge. What will you do to create jobs and eradicate poverty in your area. If elected a member of parliament, Kitutu CHACHE South.
Well, thank you for the question, Felix. Poverty is a national issue. It's not an issue that is basically in Kitutu CHACHE South only. But you're right. Kitutu CHACHE is one of the poorest constituency in 10 years. That's 10 years ago. That has changed since. But there's still more work need to be done. People are living beyond, less than $1 a day. Having lived here, there is a little bit of things that I've seen that need to be done in terms of different. Our people are used to the same way of doing things, and somehow they expect to have some changes. And that's why my quest for leadership is, I'm trying to have them change their mindset. Some things that we need to do in terms of eradicating our poverty is education, first of all. We need to teach people on how to fish, not take the fish to them. And that's one of the projects that I've initiated. There is I don't know if you know, One Hand campaign. It is entirely in Kisii, and we are in touch with James McKinney to try to do more, help people in terms of trying to get a living. And like I told you, the number of projects that I'm trying to do, helping women. When you help women, you reduce poverty, and that's exactly what the intention is for that initiative. And we are very glad that it's going to be kicking out very well. Another thing that you have to, and this is something we always having problems on, fertilizers. You cannot be, you'll be surprised. Some people may have the germination seeds, but they don't have fertilizers to enable them to do the plantation. And so that's something else you need to look at. You need to look at, because we are rich in farming. Our land is blessed with good
Kisii land, Matoke land.
Exactly. So we need to initiate that. Another thing that you have to look at, my friend, if you look at the coffee industry, coffee industry has completely done. In fact, my grandmother chopped all those trees down.
You want to revive that?
This is the problem. This is the problem. What they have done is that the few that are doing farming in terms of coffee farming, they are taking all the industries that are in Thika, that are in the central side of Kenya. There's none in here. So you are finding middlemen trying to get, the farmer is not getting the actual worth of whatever they're doing in their farm. So what I'm thinking of, the best thing to do with the county government now, since there's devolution, is that we need to have one of those industries right in Kisii. It don't have to be in Kisii, it can be even in Luo, somewhere close to the west part of Kenya. That will help a lot in terms of employment, and that will actually even give the appreciation in terms of farmers. They'll be able to get more money. That's not the only thing that we need to look at. We need to look at also the tea industry. Tea industry, there's a lot of corruption, right from the farmers. So those are the things that we need to revive. We need to go back to what we used to do and do it better. In other words, the farmers will be able to
How
get
about
more.
your road network, Mheshimiwa?
The roads have been improved. I must say that.
Because if you're going to have these guys transporting their produce from the farms, you need to have the good road network to get to the factory or wherever they should be going to. So how are you going to do that? I mean,
well, and it's good you bring that point.
Yes.
One of the things that people don't understand, that roads sometimes they are subdivided. There are roads that are national government, and there are roads that are basically for the county government. So what is happening here is that we are having a blame game. And that's why that we need to have the right people, because of some of those roads are interior roads. They are more of county roads. The county government is responsible for making those roads network. There is money for that. It's not a CDF money. It's not an MP job. It's something that you need to have a very good leader who negotiated with the county government, make sure those roads are done, and I'm ready to do that. That's what the incumbent is failing to do, and that's what we need to step in and help out.
Mheshimiwa, you've been talking about you winning in 2017.
Yes.
But I want to go a little bit off the cuff and ask you, if you lose. You don't want that to happen, but what, you're a human being. Anything can happen, right? If you lose, what will be a message to the people of Kitutu CHACHE South?
Well, first of all, I don't plan to lose, Felix. 2017 is our year. Like I said, when I'm going to this thing, I'm going to win. That's exactly what the message is on the ground. But what I want to tell our people is that we need to change the way of our thinking. We need to think outside the box. We need to try new things. We cannot keep on doing the same things for somehow at the end of the results, you expect to have a different results.
They call it insanity.
Yes, exactly. So what I want our people to know is this, that we have given ourselves out there wholeheartedly. We have very good intention for our people. We want to make sure that your lives is changed. You have tried our sons before. We need to try new people. Now, one of the things that I've assured you is that I want to take care of your security, making sure that there is a security in entire constituency and around the borders, because our constituency borders the Luo side of it and the Kisi side of it. So I want to make sure that there is security there. The second thing I want to make sure is that our people are having transportation whenever they are sick. We need to have some ambulances that are covering in terms of wards. Each ward should have one ambulances that will be able to transport our people when they are sick, when they really need help. And that's the whole reason why you have government. You're not asking so much. So you need to change in terms of your election. See the leaders you want to elect. You want to elect leaders that are going to help you. Another thing that I want to assure you is that you want a leader that can be honest with you. A leader that can look on your face and tell you, this is what I'm going to do for you, and come back and report you have done it. And that leader, you're looking at him right now. That is Jimmy Onkangi. I want to make sure that you are secured, you have food on the table, not only provide you food on the table, but help you find the food. That's the best way to do it. And Felix, last but not least,
yes,
I want to encourage our diaspora brothers and sisters who have every good intention of giving back to our community. We have done tremendous job before. The year before, in 2012, we were at 75% in terms of remittance. Right now we are headed to 95% according to GDP. So we are doing very good. We want to make sure that this money that we are providing our sisters and brothers, we are providing project, not handouts. That's the problem we are facing right now. We are sending money for our kids to go drink instead of sending money to opening business and make them accountable. When you give your money, you should have accountability with that money. And that's exactly the message we're trying to pass now. We want to make sure that the money that we are sending home, we are sending towards a good cause. It's not wrong to give your brother money to go have a dinner or something like that. But the chunk of money you are sending, there is M-Pesa now. You can send money for a project and make them accountable. That's the only way we can help that country. That's the only way, because we are third. We are third in terms of remittance, in terms of the national.
That's what they say. Yeah.
We are.
That's what they say.
Agriculture, tourism, and diaspora.
And mind you, they say there are more banks in Kisi County and Nyamira County than any other county in Kenya.
True. That is true. That is true, and that shows you how deep Kisi is blessed. And I'm glad to be part of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the man they call Naomi of Kitutu CHACHE South. He's run twice, never got there, but he's determined to get there next time. He's given us a vision on where he needs to be and where he wants to take Kitutu CHACHE to the next level. We can't be much appreciative enough for you guys who've been watching us. There is much that we have to say. We hope this program is going to create a very big impact here in the diaspora and back at home. Keep listening, keep watching us, and don't mind if you can tweet us, Nyangate, #DiasporaQuest. Good night. Thank you, Mr. Onkangi, for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.